even think that Pinkroyd has to be too scared of that Doom, but let's see if he still goes for that last pick. Does go for that last pick ban, and we see the Juno ban.
Exactly, and like we said, the speed, they've both taken speed leads. As we get into match 2 of the semi-finals, set number 1, Hanselot versus Pinkroyd. Oh, let's go, say.
Yeah, we definitely have Hanselot going with that first turn, and we do see that all of Pinkroyd's units are being outspent as of this case. Big question is going to be, can you control all of the units good enough? We definitely have the potential with that Tomoe to actually spread everything. But that Mayo Wing, the Mayo Wing is going to be the main unit that can bring everything back from Pinkroyd. So that's definitely a unit we're going to look out for. On the other side, there's a bunch of units that you can start dealing the damage on. Probably focusing that Yeonhong first is the way to go. Did not let anything on that more. Can it go for any procs or any stunts? Did not get any of those.
Oh, but Tomoe responds back and gives one back to him, say.
Yeah, definitely the stun over there. The Monkey does have Karma, so definitely will not go for skill 2. But that is a lot of damage from that Mayo Wing. And the Mayo Wing, I'm not entirely sure, probably is pretty close to max stacks already. Yep, it is max stack for now. It also is a Vio Ryu right now. So definitely going to be seeing like, okay, can that Yeonhong do enough?
Oh.
Okay, once more, Vio, but the big question is, cannot get the stun. The Monkey really needed that stun on that Yeonhong right there to actually be able to get anywhere. Still, the Monkey doesn't see too much of issues of like keeping that going. We have a lot of speeds right now. We have the 100 crit rate probably, and we keep stacking in the damage at some point. Exactly. We do, however, have that healing from Yeonhong.
Exactly. Do you think that Hanselot needs to start getting rid of this Monkey quick? I mean, he's already full stacks, but...
it is very difficult. You have to kind of control the whole battlefield while keeping the Monkey in mind. But the only thing that you can actually control it with are silences and potentially cooldown resets and Karma.
As well.
Yeah, the Karma suppression. But in this case, decided to give the Monkey the skill 2 because the Oliver actually moved but didn't do anything. I think that is slightly of a misplay because if this Monkey moves double right now, that would have been your Yeonhong off the field.
She's just about surviving right now, and it's for Oliver to try and give her and buy her some more time.
Yeah, in this case, does go for the Monkey on the cooldown reset. I should have done it last turn because now the unit is not looking too lively with that armor break coming up. I don't think Yeonhong has the skill 3 available yet, so that is definitely something that will be killed by this Monkey when it moves next.
Yeah, you can see it's going to be moving next. It will take the kill.
16k damage
right now, I say.
Yeah, that's 16k damage, and to be honest, the longer the fight takes, the more the Monkey will do, and you actually have to start tumbling damage into that Monkey, but it is very difficult as well. Actually, the Monkey seems to be somewhat on the squishy side. The Salah was doing quite some damage already. This spread might be very good. Heal block. Heal block is definitely a very interesting thing for the Monkey as well, because the Monkey skill 2 has healing. It has a lot less potential for cycling. The Monkey definitely needs a procer right now if he wants to get rid of those debuffs. If he doesn't get that, does get the stunner though, but the Monkey is still kind of on the back foot with all of those debuffs. You cannot go for that skill. Does get rid of the debuffs though, but it's very low on the HP, but so are the units on the enemy side already.
Yeah, he's going very close right now. Does Salah have a response now? Can he get a stun? Or didn't?
No stun, but once again, that heal block is showing so much potential. Once again, the suppression is coming in, so much potential. This Monkey is showing lower and lower on the HP. The pushbacks, we actually have the Tomoe moving next. If you tumble in this damage into the Monkey, you might get a small critter. This damage might actually kill this Monkey right here, right now. Does it?
We survive, say.
Survives by this... Oh, this skill 2, a lot of damage, but the Monkey, you kind of have to... You need an S1 procer S2. If it doesn't happen right now, I think it is game for the Monkey. Yeah. That would be too much damage to handle, I think. The Monkey has been surviving on the sliver of health, but that is the end of the Monkey.
Oh, and a stun just to add into insult for Pinky. I mean... What do you think went wrong then for Pinky? Because we're saying it now. Maybe he can come back with it, but I think it's highly likely, right?
You could proc on this right now, maybe start doing a lot of damage. I don't really expect it too much. I think in this case, a Water Ryu that is on this pair would have had a lot more value. The Vio procs that it took didn't do out much, because the Vio procs that the Water Ryu took, okay, I can choose right now whether you play turn 1 or turn 2. And giving that away from Hanselot of going 2 units without the speed lead is slightly worse, I would say.
Here we go, accuracy lead for Hanselot and the speed lead coming in from Pinkroyd as we go into set 2 of the semi-final, match number 2. Let's see how this one goes down, say.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be very impactful. What can this segment do? This segment does not land it, so you can only control potentially 1 unit. Big issue, however, is did not stun as well, and now we have all of the units of Hanselot moving next. You can go for start of the end. That definitely would say, okay, we still have that Cigar for that skill 3 going in right now, and we have that Han with a lot of potential right now to go for the upset to destroy one of the units of Pinkroyd.
Oh, he goes in for Sekhmet. Can he do... Oh, that's a lot, but Raccoon needs him in to save the day.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage. We go for the second chance on that segment due to that Raccoon. Raccoon also going for some great healing. Interestingly enough, right now, if segment lands her skill 3, she will get so many buffs. With those so many buffs, her skill 3 will be on cooldown right again. Can be used once more. Currently, the damage output is slightly less of Hanselot for a little bit of time, but it will come out back up pretty soon. Once again, there's so many buffs for segment to be stealing, but actually goes for the 1 buff simply because I want to reset that Han, which is definitely a high value unit as well.
Huge strip as well coming out from Lima as we go into Cigar. He's got second skill available. Gets the defense break and procs.
Definitely a nice defense break right there, plus the provoke that is sticking right there. That is a lot of damage going into that Miles right now, and the Miles might actually leave the battlefield. Gets the proc, gets rid of the armor break. Definitely helpful right there. Is this Lima able to do enough damage? However, the Lima stripped and the Oliver starts controlling Oliver. Can we do Oliver things, or are we going to start missing? We have Curse of the Depth. How many armor breaks? That's what we're looking at. We got 3 high-value armor breaks right there. Lima, you definitely have to start cleansing that off pretty soon, or otherwise units are looking dire. But we have the proc on the Cigar, pushing back all units potentially. This is so much value going in there, and that's definitely a desirable outcome for Hanselot.
Yeah, as we move into hand, the heal block was preventing Escher, but Miles down, say.
Miles down, that's a lot of damage. I'm not entirely sure if Pinkroyd has a damage Oliver. I don't really think so. Most of these Olivers these days are high tanky, 100% resistance, and that is not what Pinkroyd needed in this case. He needed something with a little bit more juice, a little bit more damage. We did miss one of those skills with the segment. Once again, goes for the retry. Retry does actually land it. If it would have crit, it would have actually done a lot more. But this is very much an uphill battle of the Lima, the Escher, and the Cigar into 2 fire units. The 2 fire units are going to be on the struggling side with that. An option could be Charming Voices, landing that multiple times, landing the heal block, and that could definitely still be a winning factor for Pinkroyd. However, that Lima, 1.5 case is not the highest of additional damage artifact, but definitely is a decent amount of additional damage artifact. And we have that heal block. That heal block is super important. Would have been nicer if there was actually a armor break as well. The unit would have probably died. But in this case, decides to live a little bit longer. Cigar, if we proc right now, could be devastation. Does get that proc. Do we push back the Raccoon? It's a 50-50. Does not land the pushback on the Raccoon. And the segment is mainly going to go for that Lima. Lima might leave the battlefield pretty soon as well.
Wow, this is going from one end to the other at the moment. Say if Sekhmet's got anything to say about it.
Yeah, segment is definitely doing a lot of work, but we do have that Escher that's moving faster than that Raccoon. Raccoon definitely has to go for more of its cleansers for those heals. In this case, where do you place the Charming Voice? Goes for the Escher, that is the sustainer. That is also the heavier damage dealer of the 2. But still, is this going to be enough damage? I think that Hanselot might be lacking damage if the Massacre does not come up. We have that procker from... Do we have enough damage if you crit? We don't have enough damage if you crit, and we have the Raccoon, the cycling. We have a lot of turns going potentially here. Armor break, if this is the armor breaks lands, does not land the armor break both sides. That's actually kind of on the back foot for Pinkroyd once again. But the Raccoon with the proccers, at some point it's gonna be there, and look at that HP of Segment. And all suddenly Segment was like, I was low HP? I'm not low HP, I have a Raccoon next to me. And the Raccoon does so much work, and it's actually the comeback of just a Raccoon and a Segment. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly why you never leave a match. Always play it out. There's always that potential that you can say like, I have not that many units left on the field, but these units can make it work. The Raccoon needs so much healing. The Segment, chip damage, left, right, center, cooldown increases. Everything was just there, and slowly but surely taking out the units of Hanselot and giving the victory to Pinkroyd.
Wow, what an up and down there from Pinky. He managed to pull that all the way through with Raccoon and Segment.
Actually have the potential of saying like, I'm not entirely sure about the draft. On the other side, the Miles does have a lot of potential of still killing that Douglas, plus the Shizuka skill 1 has a lot of potential of killing that Douglas as well. So Douglas might feel very nice, but you can actually leave it in. And that is what Pinkroyd does as well. We have the ban on the Vanessa and the ban on the Miles.
Wow, we go in with Pinkroyd with speed lead and obviously attack lead for Hanselot's Douglas. Let's see if it's going to prove to be beneficial during this third set of our match 2 in the semi-finals.
Yeah, in this case, I definitely do think it is going to be the match of how well can you control the Douglas. But once again, we have seen that Segment not landing her third skill. It's so crucial that she keeps landing those third skills. Plus, you have the potential right now. You can boost up the Cigar. Cigar can reset the Robo, and that makes this game look very difficult already.
Does get a provoke as well, also on the Raccoonian Segment. Oliver's looking okay, but Dooman's going to be coming very soon, say.
Yeah, the Dooman is probably attempted to land that on the Raccoon. Does he go for the Raccoon? You can't see. Goes for the Segment, interestingly enough. The moment you kill the Raccoon, you get rid of pretty much all of the potential. However, it is interesting to go for that Segment because the Segment has that attack break that is maybe pretty straightforward, a hard counter to that Douglas. If you get that off the field, it is pretty much a clean match for Hanselot, I would say, because in the end, we can go back and forth a lot. If that Segment is off the field, there's absolutely no way you can get rid of that Douglas, which is in this case the Fire Ryu.
Exactly, that Douglas is just going to be revenging all the time and healing against 2 wind units and even a Raccoon not doing any damage. Smart play, right? Get rid of the Sekhmet and then just let your Douglas do the rest.
Yeah, definitely. And in this case, I do think that Pinkroyd had a pretty right draft. The only big issue was, once again, that segment. You have those odds of saying, like, okay, if I don't land it right now, my whole game is over. And Pinkroyd knows that. And he's just deciding, okay, let's test the rivers. Let's see how much this Douglas actually hits for. And from there, we're going to go probably into the next round.
Exactly. We've taken the win for Hanselot.
Tianlang also very comfortable against Diana, but this is a very difficult ban because if you leave the Diana in, like Diana and Tianlang kind of hard counter each other here. That's where you kind of decide to play the mind game, like, okay, do I leave it in, ban something else, you are gonna ban my Tianlang, or are you?
No, they both were very secure in their mind of what they were doing there. Boom, Leo out, Tianlang out, and here we go into set 4, the deciding match potentially for Hanselot.
Yeah, this match we're definitely gonna look at the damage from the Diana and the damage of the Han. If those can dish enough, or if those can dish out enough damage, that's going to be very deadly for Pinkroyd. On the other hand, it is just the Miles doing the damage. But however, it's just the Miles on damage. There is no actual sustain on the side of Pink, or there's no actual sustain on the side of Hanselot. So the damage you do will stick.
Here we go. It was a proc there from Sekhmet, and now we're going into Vanessa. Does she want to land a defense break? She does get it on Jemaya.
Does get it on Jemaya. That's kind of like a forced thing of like, okay, you have to take a turn. Do you use your Time of Illusion? Your third skill does also get a proc. Let's see, do we get some attack breaks? That's a very valuable attack break. Diana, if you switch right now, there's a very good odds of being provoked. Oh. Decides to go for that stunner, which is definitely the better play right now. With a lot of damage, even though that attack break, there was still a lot of damage on that cigar.
Yeah, we can see here Han, he's doing a lot of damage even with the attack break, but Miles is going to have an answer.
Miles, do you tumble in more damage into that Han, or do you start doing damage onto that Diana? Both of them are high value targets. The issue is, goes for the segment, strangely enough, but we have another proc on that segment. Pretty interesting to see a segment proc, and we also saw it just before, but most of the time, segment is that swift unit. In this case, for Hanselot, he says, it's high base speed, I can take it away on Vio.
Yeah, he's going for a different build here. Can he get nothing really there? He's going to heal Cigar up a little bit.
That was some good damage on that Wusa, hitting a 10.4k. That's definitely a lot of damage, but this is where we have the Diana cycling. If he gets rid of that Miles right now, that is a lot of damage loss on the side of Pinkroyd.
Oh, he managed to strip, but he didn't really do too much damage, and Cigar is still up.
Cigar is definitely skill up, so you kind of have to waste a skill left or right at some point to finish it off. You definitely do want to stun this Miles off right now. Probably not 100% resistance one, so it could have landed, but the Miles is still doing clean 8.5k as well, and we have that Cigar leaving the battlefield, and we have an armor break! That armor break plus another proc, that segment is actually taking a lot of double turns. That's pretty interesting to see.
Every single time, I think so. But yeah. Jemaya got an answer here.
Jemaya, you need to proc back on this one. You need to do a lot of damage. Maybe kill that Diana off. Will get an attack off. Does get the procer as well. That's exactly what you needed. That procer might seal or at least save the units because we have that third scale up coming up. We have immunity. We have shields. We have that right before when the Han moves. Actually decides to go for the killer potential. He saw 10.4k before, thought he would kill. Didn't actually kill. Definitely did need that procer to save that Miles here. Miles would have been out of the field. Otherwise, that is an unfortunate procer for that Han because...
Oh my god!
I'm not sure what it is, but it is not 22%. We're going so much progress left, right, and center. Shizuka, show me one as well. What can you do? Do we go for a reset? Do we go for a killer? We have to get rid of that Miles.
Sekhmet lands, but this time no problem.
This time not, but we do have armor breaks once again landing, but that Han is gone right now, and that Miles is still gonna do quite some damage. Does not land the stunner, but once again gets that procer. This match is going so back and forth. We have 2 fire units against a very strong potential. Ooh, can we kill? Additional damage? We do kill. How much damage are we going to do on fire? Not too much. How much damage are we going to go the other way? Also not too much. S2 of Busa seals the deal, does clean damage based off its HP. And that is probably game for Pinkroyd in a very much back and forth match that we just had here between Pinkroyd and Hanselot.
Wow, yeah. I mean, it looks pretty safe, I would say, for Pinky to get through now. Pinkroyd going to be taking it to 2-2, which would take it to a deciding set, which is going to be... not a repeat exactly, but of what happened in our last semi-finals. It seems like when it gets to the core moments, he should be okay, eh?
Yeah, he should definitely be okay. That Wusa S2 at some point would just seal the deal. It's clean damage. Yep. We don't care about glance and we don't care about armor breaks. It's just a lot of damage and that's...
I think a long time about this, because remember, this is deciding match. Vanessa is going out and Etna going out.
Oh, that's very interesting. The big question is right now, is that Yeonhong going to outspeed units that are on the 33 lead? We do have that resistance lead going in for the Yeonhong, which might potentially make it more difficult for units like the Mei Wing and the Josephine to land anything.
Yeah, let's see as we get into the decisive set. Hanselot versus Pinkroyd for that ticket to the Europe Cup.
And we have once again that insane Yeonhong moving first, potentially boosting up that Cigar. Once again, Yeonhong is the playmaker, and it's going to reset the Josephine.
Does reset, but misses everything else, and Monkey's going to start taking turns, say.
Yeah, the Monkey's going to start taking turns, but in this case, we do have that Lima, but Lima is actually controlled right now by the Oliver.
Oh, big strip to get that for Oliver.
Yeah, definitely. This is going to be pretty much in the favor of Pinkroid right now. The big question is, can that Salah actually keep stunning the right units? But the moment that units are dropping to that Oliver, to that Meo Wang, this is looking very favorable for Pinkroid in this moment.
It is, because Salah's going to be gone and Oliver's back into some turn cycling.
There was some turn cycling, but there was actually a resistance on the cooltime. So Oliver's gonna get one more skill up right now. Well, if he doesn't decide to leave the battlefield on the armor break. But he wouldn't have the actual potential to use the skills. But this monkey is starting to deal so much damage already. However, the monkey does have issues against that resistance lead, which we see coming in right now.
Yeah, but big stun onto Lima. And Cigar, does he have an answer? Manages to provoke Oliver, but Monkey, like you said...
The monkey is doing so much damage, and definitely this whole draft was signaling into you have to be able to control that monkey. The Lima was not the right answer for that, or you would have been able to ban out that monkey, because the monkey once again has shown to be very devastating for everything that Hansel brings here on the field, and this is looking very much in the victory of Pinkroid.
Wow, Pinkroid coming through against Hanselot, who showed a very brave effort. But there we have it. Pinkroid has secured his place through to the Europe Cup.
Yes, he has. He's gone and done it. He didn't